I'm James, the drummer for Die Young.
I'm Daniel. I sing, or something like that.
From Texas?
Yeah, we're from Houston, Texas.
Okay.
You released a 7-inch recently on A389 Records. How did that relationship come about?
Well, Die Young and Dom from Pulling Teeth are bound by a deep love for Cleveland hardcore from the 90s, and you know, we played some shows with Pulling Teeth over the past couple of years, and we decided this is actually going to probably be our last recording, and you know, it's not really the kind of small releases aren't really in Eulogy's budget these days, not worth their time. So you know, we just want to do, if this ends up being our last thing that we ever do, we just want to do it with a good friend that believes in what we're doing. So I just called Dom up and said, hey, do you want to do this? And he said, yeah, of course. So that was it.
So you guys are out soon, is that it?
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I mean, we're just kind of trying to feel it out because we've been touring North America and kind of nonstop for like over 5 years, and we're a little burnt out. You know, if you know, international tours keep coming our way, I don't think we'd turn them down. But you know, I've seen the U.S. enough. You know.
Yeah, I don't know if we might not have like members to still play in the band next year. You know, because I think Jeff and Cameron are going back to school or something.
Yeah, our guitarist and our bassist currently they live in Birmingham, Alabama. Die Young's had about like 20 different members over the past 5 years, and these are like the most recent guys who really committed to a life of musical poverty, and they're I guess, you know, and good for them that they're going to move on in their lives and do other things. So, you know, next year we might not have a full band. It's a headache to keep replacing people and trying to keep the band afloat. So, but, you know, if it works out to do some more stuff, then we will, but if it doesn't feel right, we're not going to.
Talk a little more about, I guess, the bands from the 90s that were the most influential to you, both, you know, musically and also ideologically.
Well, when it comes to Die Young, if you talk about ideologies, that mostly comes out of me because I write the lyrics. And for me, you know, the first band I ever heard that I understood to be hardcore in any way was Earth Crisis. I saw them on an Ozfest VHS or something like,
yeah.
And you know, so things like that have always been more of an outward, like socially minded nature, like vegan, straight edge. It's always been a big thing for me. So bands like Earth Crisis or Indecision or Catharsis or Trial, like my favorite. That's like my favorite bands ever. You know? So they've had a huge influence on Die Young musically, lyrically.
Now you're adamant about supporting independent distributors, independent retailers. I haven't seen many bands who, you know, are so, you know, vocal and public about supporting companies like Interpunk. What, you know, how come the MP3 Mafia didn't kill you guys yet?
Oh, well, actually, you know, I mean, as far as distribution, we've never tried to be like this, like, solely DIY type thing. I mean, whenever DIY companies or distributors support us, you know, we like to return the favor and tell people to support them. But, you know, I mean, we got on Eulogy, one of the perks to that was that we were going to get, like, more commercial distribution and try to, you know, in my head, I was thinking, we'll grab all these, like, 14-year-old, like, confused Godsmack fans and get them into fucking anarchy. You know,
good idea.
That would be cool. But, you know, that kind of didn't work out. But whatever.
You had a dream, you know? And that's more than a lot of bands have.
I'm sure you got a few.
Yeah.
So, it didn't work at all?
I don't know, man. A lot of things with that deal, just in typical Die Young, bad luck fashion, just things didn't go as maybe we had anticipated they would, and we didn't. I mean, it wasn't even necessarily like a personal thing with the label. It was everything's changing so much in the realm of trying to sell CDs on a steady basis, you know, because they are a business, and it's hard for them to, you know, or any label these days to keep their lights on if you're counting on selling CDs. So a lot of funding kind of went down the drain around the time our album was coming out. Didn't really get like the push we'd hoped for, and you know, and a lot of their releases lately haven't. You know? I don't know, but once again, life shits on Die Young.
As long as it doesn't go out of print, I guess eventually kids will discover the album.
Yeah, you know, well, one thing I can say is that we've, you know, back to this independent distributor, record label type things, we've, you know, I mean, we did one full length on Eulogy. Everything else we've ever done has been with super DIY, like independent type labels, and people that believe in what we're doing very much. Even if our records are sitting on their shelves collecting dust, they're like still really gung-ho about what we're trying to promote as a band. So I feel confident that even if we had to do it ourselves, you know, like that we'll be able to keep the records in print, you know, even after we're a band, or at least I hope.
What causes or movements are you guys behind at the current time, or have you been behind the most over the years?
Well, the weird thing is, like in Die Young, not any of us really have any uniform way of looking at things, you know, like, but as a band, we do try to help out the kind of underdogs in society, like in social movements. Like a couple times we've tried to raise money for people who are basically convicted arsonists, but we believe in what they were trying to burn down was like needed to be burned down, so try to raise money for them. You know, I mean, it's maybe $200 at the end of the night, but you know, just like the DIY grassroots networking connected to the punk movement that still exists. If you know, like if like Houston Anarchist Black Cross emails us or calls us up and it's like, hey, you know, we have this show for like a political prisoner, or we have something like this, you know, I mean, even if some of us don't even like really know what that's about, we're like, hey, fuck it, let's just play the show and have a good time, you know. Things like that, you know. For me personally, you know, animal rights is a huge deal. I mean, especially environmentally, and in some ways, I've been involved in, you know, taking to the streets kind of activism with that, but nothing that I'm really like have been satisfied with, because what I've realized in the past 5 years of speaking to people in Die Young is that, you know, even in a small minority like the hardcore scene, you can talk to 100 people a night and about 2 of them might even comprehend what you're trying to convey. So you know, it's even worse when you're going out into the streets and you're trying to talk to people about cruelty to animals on a wide scale, and they just think you're gay. You know what I'm saying? So at this point, I think that, you know, back to like supporting people who burn things down and blow shit up. Like I'm talking about right now, so obviously I can't go out and do it. But if anyone does it, we'll help you with your legal fund.
You support direct action.
Yeah, we support direct action.
So, anything else, or we're done?
Any bands you're fond of?
Any bands? No effects.
Get out.
Yeah. There's a band called Dead City from Memphis who are good friends of ours that he's wearing their shirt.
Most evil heavy band around currently, and kids sleep on them because they're idiots. You know, there's bands like Hollywood from Nashville, Tennessee. Jeff and Kaon, who play bass and guitar in Die Young, have an awesome band called Legion from Birmingham, Alabama. There's a band called Lion Wait from San Antonio, Texas, good friends of ours. There's a lot of great bands coming out of Texas, and you know, for the past 5.5 years, I've been really happy to be on the road so much representing Texas hardcore, because when I was, you know, a 14, 15-year-old kid, I found Earth Crisis, and then I found the local scene in Houston. It was really like a moment of kind of personal revolution for me. So for us to be representing Texas hardcore and put out a bunch of records.
In Canada.
Yeah, and especially in Canada. People have been super cool to us here, except for the border guards that can all fuck themselves. And yeah, check those bands out, and thank you for the interview, guys.